Welcome to the SUNY Sullivan Podcast, where we introduce you to the people and stories that help make our campus Sullivan strong. I'm your host, Sammy Clemens, media arts student, and today we're talking with the Associate Professor of Graphic Design and Computer Graphics, Joe Poon.
My name is Joe Poon. I'm an Associate Professor of Graphic Design and Computer Graphics here at SUNY Sullivan. I've been here for 2 years. This is actually my second year, and glad to be part of the faculty here. This is a great school to be teaching at.
I sat down with Professor Poon and asked if he could explain what graphic design is and what his goals are for the program. Here's what he said.
Graphic design is actually a field that's growing. And, traditionally in the past, graphic design is anything that's designed two-dimensionally, like in print or in two-dimensional form, to advertise a product or to place emphasis or visual representation for a company or an event or anything else like that. My goals for the program are to make sure that the graphic design students that come out of this program are prepared to be very flexible graphic designers. For example, I can talk about 2 guest speakers and artists that I've brought to the program to talk about graphic design kind of jobs. And one of them is actually being a graphic designer for movies and for TV shows. So I'm trying to expand what notion or what office job people think of when it comes down to graphic design. Because a graphic designer can work with a graphic design company, or they can work freelance, or they could be an employee of a company and maybe, let's say, be a salesperson for that company, but they might not have a marketing or graphic design feature or program. So then that person sometimes can fill in as a graphic designer, to make flyers or whatnot. So the other thing that I was talking about with lectures is I introduced a character designer for a video game last year. And I would say that she's not necessarily a graphic designer by name, but she does do graphic design for video games like Apex and stuff like that. So I'm trying to expand what people think of as a typical job for graphic design. It's basically any place that has a need for producing print material or anything that needs to be displayed to the public. So those are 2 other areas, video game design and then also TV shows and video that some people have not associated graphic design with. So that's what I'm trying to do with the program, is to make sure that people know that it's gotten a lot bigger. In the past, it used to be that you just work for a magazine, a newspaper kind of company. But now it's like you can work for just about any kind of business. And so it's really expanded what the options are.
I had the opportunity to sit down with first-year graphic design student Adrienne Lee and asked her how she likes the program.
It's very fun. I think there's a lot of space to be really creative here. The projects that we get are very open-ended, so there's a lot of room for creativity from every student.
I also asked her what line of work she wants to enter and how the program has helped her move towards those goals. Here's what she said.
I've been looking into UX UI design, just like website design. It's kind of along the lines of graphic design. I feel like it got me out of my creative rut. I've kind of been independently studying for a while, but having to do it for a class and doing projects and homework has been pushing me to practice doing art.
I also asked Professor Poon what advice he has for students pursuing a graphic design degree, and he emphasized how important it is to utilize the tools that are available to us, such as the internet.
The internet basically has all the knowledge that human existence has ever created. And one should not be shy to just trying whatever stuff out. We oftentimes hear now, oh, where'd you learn that from? Oh, I learned it from TikTok, or I learned it from YouTube and that kind of thing. So I oftentimes say in my classes with students, there's somebody else who's competing against you in the world. And they're normally like on the other side of the world, and they didn't have to go to college or to high school to learn some sort of thing that they are doing on the computer nowadays. There are people who know how to take advantage of the internet, and it's not like I'm trying to talk myself out of my own job. But what I'm saying is that there are a lot of people who are entrepreneurs, and you can still be in my classes and still learn a lot of stuff in graphic design. But the other 25% of what a student is responsible for is just mining the internet and learning something from it that that might not be on the curriculum for a graphic design program. There's just so much out there. You don't have to wait for some teacher to tell you, oh, you should be learning this, that kind of thing. So that's my best advice, is that if you've got this resource that has all the body of knowledge of anybody, that you just do it. That goes for more than just, a Photoshop tutorial or Illustrator tutorial. It's like figure out other stuff, maybe figure out how printers work and discover how to make augmented reality kind of pictures and stuff like that too. There's just so much out there that one shouldn't wait. They should just dive in and be an entrepreneur.
For more information or to be featured on the SUNY Sullivan podcast, please send an email to kluck@sunysullivan.edu. That's KLUCK@sunysullivan.edu.